drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
I find that commercial a tad insulting to my intelligence. You know, the one, here's your brain. I've seen a lot of things on drugs, but I have never, ever, ever looked at an egg and thought it was a fucking brain, not once. Now, maybe I wasn't getting good shit, but, that's what I hate about the war on drugs. I'll be honest with you. It's what I can't stand, is all day long we see those commercials. Here's your brain on drugs. Just so you know. Why do you think they call it do? And then the next commercial is...
This is a beer commercial, and you know what that means. It's Tits and Ass Beer, because nothing sells beer like tits and ass.
Is this buzz for you? Come on, everybody. Let's be hypocritical bastards. It's okay to drink your drug. We meant those other drugs. Those untaxed drugs. Those are the ones that are bad for you. Nicotine, alcohol, good drugs. Coincidentally, tax drugs. Ooh, how does this fucking work?
Marijuana, the dried leaves and flowers of the Indian hempweed, is used in the form of a cigarette. Marijuana smoking, experts point out, can make a helpless addict of its victim within weeks, causing physical and moral ruin and death.
Did that just say possible death?
How can you prove to us that you can be a real leader on kind of matters that matter to our generation? Stand up for drug issue, please.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me start slightly, let me say first of all, and this is not what you want to hear, I think we have to make a sharp distinction between the aspects of the manufacture and production of marijuana and other drugs in this country that are controlled by organized crime, pushers. You asked the question, let me wait for the answer. I am strongly in favor of strong penalties to control that. You're just not going to get me to go where you want me to go. What I don't want to do is have young lives ruined by vexatious prosecution for small amounts of possession. That's the second thing. The third thing is on the more serious issues of addiction, where I have profound disagreements with the conservative government is in their handling of the insight issue and harm reduction strategies. I'm strongly in favor of harm reduction strategies, and this government has chose to take the insight program to the courts rather than reinvest in harm reduction strategies of all kinds. One of the things I see across the country is a tragic and terrible shortage of addiction care and addiction rehab programs. And you feel that very strongly, oddly, when you're in a police cell. You're in the police cells at Calgary Police Station with the Calgary Police, and they show you a young person shivering in detox on the floor of their jail in Calgary, not from cannabis, from tougher stuff than that. And you think, and the police chief says to you, this young woman shouldn't be here. And I 100% agree with her. We've got to have a country in which we address the issue of addiction seriously with investment and resources.
My real question is, will you either legalize cannabis or stop supporting conservative?
I will not legalize cannabis, no.
Boo. Boo. Boo earns.
Excuse me for a moment while I vent about the mind-boggling stupidity of the autocratic, bureaucratic, right-wing, Neanderthal numbskulls who keep pushing an insane, inane, and inhumane holy war against marijuana, which is, after all, a weed. The most embarrassing thing for these holy warriors is that the weed is winning. They've been at this war since 1937, spending billions and billions of our tax dollars, militarizing our borders, and stomping on our Bill of Rights. They've used phone taps, garbage searches, jackbooted raids, and draconian prison terms to do what? To nab peaceful, mellow tokers who aren't bothering anyone, that's what. Despite 60 years of spending our money, they failed. 85% of Americans say marijuana is easy to obtain today. A third of our population says they've tried it. Nearly 15 million people partake of it at least monthly, and more high school students now smoke marijuana than cigarettes. Meanwhile, the holy warriors have become more fanatical and thuggish. A marijuana arrest is made every 41 seconds in America, 9 out of 10 of them for mere possession. In 2004, 772,000 Americans were arrested on marijuana charges, more than for all violent crimes combined. And 40,000 Americans are in prison today for this victimless crime, more than the entire prison populations of 8 European countries. Even sicker, the sanctimonious weed warriors have made it a crime for thousands of seriously sick people to get the medical benefits of using small amounts of doctor-prescribed marijuana. Weirdly, our doctors can prescribe cocaine for patients, but not marijuana.
Manufacture and production of marijuana, Al-Qaeda, blow up a plane and kill innocent civilians. Saddam Hussein, that he was a murderous tyrant, poison gas, torture, and devastation. Saddam Hussein was a murderous tyrant. 800,000 people were chopped into small pieces, blow up innocent civilians. I just believe very strongly, and I learned this in Bosnia during the 90s when I got shot at. What I saw was so searing, so revolting, so terrible, that I just thought we had to get rid of them any way we could. That's the straight-up answer as to why I supported the Iraq War.
It's the third time I've said that. I'll probably say it 3 more times. See, in my line of work, you got to keep repeating things over and over and over again for the truth to sink in, to kind of catapult the propaganda.